Last time on Dragon Ball Z.
It is a maze.
Completely.
Gotta love the arrow.
No.
This is what is here.
Wrong. Takes me back to itself.
No.
Hey you Gohan, we're in for some pretty flamboyant boss fights, aren't we? Well, better get into it. Hey guys, Saxdude26 here, and welcome back to Let's Play Dragon Ball Z, The Legacy of Goku. Last time we continued on through Planet Namek and made it to the decimated Temple of Guru, where we placed back the 3 ancient artifacts, and dealt with quite a surplus of Frieza soldiers, so we got a pretty decent gauge for the amount of power he possesses. Regardless, we've now met up with Krillin and Gohan again, who have made a pact with Vegeta, because right now common enemy is Frieza. We don't want him getting the Dragon Balls, Vegeta doesn't want him getting the Dragon Balls, so we've made a pact. Deal with Frieza, then deal with the Dragon Balls. That's a fair compromise, I like this truce. However, Frieza has sent down his elite squadron, the Ginyu Force, led by Captain Ginyu here. Flamboyant, muscular, purple, loves posing, and does not want to lift a finger to fight us if one of the other members of the squad can take us out with ease. He's a very flamboyant, look at the stuff he's talking about. He is basically like a villainous Power Ranger in a squad. That's basically what the Ginyu squad is. That's the problem, is that the game will refer to it as the Ginyu squad, but they are the Ginyu Force. So I'm going to try and consciously call them the Ginyu Force, but because of the fact that it was in front of my eyes in text, I said Ginyu squad. My apologies. They are the Ginyu Force. There is 5 of them. They're colourful. They're like villainous Power Rangers, like I was saying. They all have different traits and attributes and abilities, but there's 5 of them and they're colourful. And yeah, this is a trend that comes up quite a lot in the Dragon Ball universe, so look forward to more of that. Unfortunately, even though there's 5 of them, there are only 4 on this map. And that's partly because one of the members has already been defeated, and in canon, they were defeated well before Goku got here. That is the green member, the multi-eyed Guldo, who uses psychic powers. I'm not going to go with telekinetic or psychokinetic because after playing Bioshock I'm confused, and then after playing The World Ends With You I get more confused, and then I look back at Sonic Next Gen playthrough on the League and I get more confused, and
It's no use!
He uses psychic abilities. He immobilizes Gohan and Krillin with great ease, and then Vegeta beheads him in one fell swoop and then blows up his head. Bit overdone, but yeah, that's why he's not here when Goku gets here. And yeah, it makes sense, but it's a pity, because I'd love to see him still fightable. I mean, it feels out of place that the rest of the squad is here, and that you don't get to fight him. And that's the thing, the internet love characters that are slightly minor, or don't get enough screen time in the series. Because, I mean, you've seen how the sprites for everyone look. It'd be awesome to see Guldo in this sprite style. And the internet have taken to that, and there are fan-made sprites of Guldo, and when you put them next to Berta and Recoome and Captain Ginyu and Jace over here, he looks like he fits. He really does. And that's why it's just like, the internet loves giving attention to the characters who deserve a little bit more, so I appreciate that. But it just means that fighting them in order, which is what I want to do, I can do it in order for what Goku fought, I just don't get to fight Guldo, which is a bit of a pity. So, first one we get to fight is the brick-headed Recoome here. He is muscular, his trademark colour is orange, he is a powerhouse, and he is technically the 2nd strongest member of the Ginyu Force when it comes to brute strength. The only reason we're going to be fighting Berta and Jace next is because as a 2-part unison, as a 2-part unit, they collectively are stronger than Recoome, but Recoome in brute force is way stronger on his own. Recoome's main trademark is he's a bit of a wrestler. The best archetype I can link him to is kind of the Macho Man from WrestleMania. Like, even his voice sounds like that, and I love that they really overdid it for Abridged. They really captured the energy of the Ginyu Force really well in Abridged, and I think Recoome is a good evidence of that. Like, he puts his trademark, every move he does just has Recoome on the start of it, so it's like, Recoome Heat Laser, and Recoome Burst, and Recoome Elbow, and that kind of stuff, and it's very true to his character. When Gohan, Krillin, and Vegeta fought Recoome, he originally just wanted to fight Vegeta on his own. but then was able to take all 3 of them on with ease. Then Goku arrives on the planet just as the fight is about to wrap up because Raccoon's going to basically blast them all into oblivion. Goku lands, Goku gives the others Zenzu Bean so they can heal, and then he charges headfirst into Raccoon, gives him a elbow blow to the gut, and knocks him out in 1 hit. Kinda like that, but just without the rest of the battle tacked onto it. We're now level 19, fantastic. Next up, Berta and Jace at the same time. They're a 2-part unit, let's fight them that way. Because literally, the second Raccoon goes down, Berta and Jace jump into the fray and surround Goku. Now their archetype. Berta describes himself as the fastest fighter in the universe, and Jace, well, I mean, the only thing he's got going for him is he's the red to Berta's blue, and he's got an Australian accent, and he uses fast energy blasts. I forgot about that one. Like I forgot because they're not blue. Dang it. I say initially because, you know, sooner or later one of them's gonna go down. That's the difficult thing about unions, is, like, there's bound to be a crack in it, and the only way to deal with them is to try and take them down one at a time. Because if you try and take them down both, then they're both gonna make a mess of you. Really, I was about to make the comparison of the 2 of them to be Sonic and Knuckles. The very first attack they do in the anime, they crash into each other and turn into a spinning disc of doom around Goku. Jeez, I'm just gonna use a Zenzu Bean, because this is getting ridiculous. But yeah, Goku is, like, making very subtle and easy dodges to all of their attacks. And then it's just that whole sort of thing of, Berta's the fastest in the universe, but Goku's keeping up and he's dodging every attack with ease. So much for that. But then, again, to be fair, this is the first game in a 3-part series. You know people are going to get stronger, which means undoubtedly there are going to be people who are fastest. Berta can't possibly be the fastest in the universe, as much as he likes to think he is. So his gimmick, it's true-ish for this arc, but in the grand scheme of things, it's a bit overblown. Please don't keep using fast energy blasts, guys. Jace uses them a lot more because he's a very hot-headed character, and I think that really goes with the fact that in every canon of every dub, every abridged, and every voice actor, Jace has an Australian accent. He's a very brash character, he uses very quick-witted wording, and especially in abridged, I love the way they captured him because he's using slang all the time, and I get it, and it's funny. Like, I laughed for a solid 10 minutes when he made the Shonky Scouter joke, and I get that. I'm like, I hear people use the word Shonky all the time. Whether it's at work, at uni, just around my family, I hear it all the time. It's common slang down here, so I just laughed immediately. But, oh, jeez. See, this is why they collectively are stronger than Raccoon. Because they are doing way more damage to me than Raccoon was. To be fair, I've only been using the Solar Flare, but that's because, unfortunately, unlike with the Kamehameha wave and going against Nappa and Vegeta, they're a lot quicker to deal with, and their punches are pretty fast, so being able to immobilize them is a really good thing to have. I think Berta's getting pretty close now. Are you kidding me? I don't want to use all my Zenzu Beans, I'm saving them for later. Their downfall in the fight against Goku is the fact that all of their attacks are very easily choreographed, so Berta eventually just goes, I'm the fastest in the universe. How about I just take him down myself? Which, I mean, makes sense, but unfortunately in terms of a strategy, it's not the best. It's not the best, and I'm running out of herbs. Good gravy. If this is going like this, how's Captain Ginyu gonna go? So as you can probably gauge, Berta goes down first because he's like, I am the fastest, so I'm gonna take you down on my own. That doesn't go well. And he's very easily knocked out cold by Goku. Key thing, Vegeta blew up Goldo's head, but Goku just knocked Raccoon and Berta out. He didn't actually kill them. The same fate can't be said for Jace, unfortunately, because where his fight goes solo, that's where things change in the anime. When Berta's knocked out, Vegeta comes up and snaps his neck. And that's when Jace loses it and basically flies off. Because at this point, Captain Ginyu has stayed by Frieza's side, not wanting to lift a finger. Good grief, I'm down to 2 herbs, what are you doing? Jace basically goes and, goes to be a tattletale to Captain Ginyu, like, no, this Saiyan is beating us up. Captain Ginyu comes back, and they both take on Goku again, but Jace starts distancing himself because everything really freaking hurts. Then Captain Ginyu does what's known as a body switch, and during that time, he basically impersonates Goku in his body, hoping that Goku's strength will be his, so that he can gather back all the Dragon Balls and deal with Vegeta, Gohan, and Krillin with ease. Also, without needing to raise any questions. However, I will say very straightforwardly, because Jace is not there to pass on that news and all of that garbage, that doesn't happen, and here we just fight Captain Ginyu as a standard boss. Thankfully, I don't think he does the fast energy blasts like Berta, Jace, and Vegeta do. And while that's on my mind, actually, before I go back to the Ginyu fight in the anime, on the box art, it shows the Ginyu Force fighting Goku and firing off blue energy blasts, which I think is hilarious considering both Berta and Jace and Vegeta all do fast energy blasts. However, Vegeta is the only character in the game that fires blue ones. It was a mock screenshot, not an actual screenshot. So, sorry to disappoint, no one else will fire blue energy blasts, no one will ever get blue energy blasts, it's a Vegeta only thing because of Vegeta. Regardless, I need another herb, so I'll gather up what I can. When the body switch happens, Captain Ginyu actually purposefully jabs himself in the chest and then switches bodies, trying to incapacitate Goku and basically leave Goku's body in perfect fighting condition for the taking. However, he doesn't know how to use any of Goku's attacks, which means all he's got to work off is the base strength. And as Dragon Ball Z has proven to us time and again, Ki is a very powerful thing to have on your side. So not knowing how to use the Kaioken, the Kamehameha, the Spirit Bomb, the Solar Flare, any of that, literally meant that he was at the mercy of any energy attack that came at him and could only just fire off basic energy blasts. Which, unlike in this game, you can't charge that much. If you're just running off brute strength, it's just really weak energy blasts and they do very little. Which meant that Gohan and Krillin were able to see through the ruse very easily, also because he put the Scouter on, but Vegeta was able to basically knock him to the curb very easily, and that is where Jace was actually defeated. On top of that, Vegeta went cold hard killer on the whole situation, and like lasered his corpse as well. There are technically still two right-hand men to Frieza that we haven't even seen, and they're never even in the game. They're never mentioned by name, you never see them, and like that's the thing, because the next thing I was going to talk about is the fact that in the Ginyu Force, Recoome is also really important because he's in a lot of the fighting games with Captain Ginyu. That's changed a lot more now that all characters are being in the fighting games. But Ultimate Battle 22 is what I grew up with, and that had Recoome and Berta in it. No, that had Recoome and Captain Ginyu in it, but it also had Zarbon. Zarbon and Dodoria are Frieza's right-hand men, and we haven't even seen them because they're not in this game, period. Dodoria was quite the interesting character. He was sort of like a sea urchin kind of character, explosive energy abilities as well, but Vegeta literally knocked them out cold the second he got to Planet Namek. And probably the reason why we haven't seen Zarbon is the exact same thing. He was knocked out before we got here as well. Zarbon is Frieza's first in command after the Ginyu Force. And his thing is he's the most flamboyant of Frieza's soldiers, but his main thing is he turns into a gigantic muscled up monster and then has 5 times the muscle strength and knocked out Vegeta cold. But then Vegeta did him one back. But we never see any of them because of the fact that they're never there when Goku's on Namek, so it makes sense. But it's a pity we never get to see them because the Ginyu Force are pretty substantial, and I didn't think that Zarbon and Dodoria weren't that important. Regardless, now the main focus. We want a real challenge. We want to go to Frieza's ship. So, we're now level 20, which means 80% of Frieza's soldiers we can take out in one hit. This is quite the map area, actually, and it's got the same music that was outside the... Whoa! We literally went up 2 levels in the last minute and a half. That's pretty crazy. So we're level 21 now. That's awesome. Okay, there's nothing back there. Except flight charges. Cool, how are we doing on flight charges, actually? 60. Getting pretty good with the flight charges. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the music here is the same as it is outside, Guru's Temple, which I do like. That is quite nice. And I can actually hit these barrels in this house, which is nice, because I need more herbs back. Thank you very much. I much appreciate that. But yeah, Freezer Soldiers, I don't even have to Solar Flare if I don't want to. It's helpful though, because not all of them are going to die in one hit, and there are a couple of colors we haven't seen before that are going to be a little more robust. But flying from island to island is pretty important at this point. Also, yes, we got the music from outside the temple, but I'm already really missing the music from the previous map area. That's like my favorite music in the game, and I'm missing it already. Oh well. It only played in that one area. How could you do that? So many original compositions, and I enjoy them so much. But now we're going to go through the Freezer Outpost with temple music, so we'll deal with that. Oh! This was the other thing I was going to mention. Rejuvenation Chamber. That is very concentric to part of the whole thing of Ginyu and Goku and the body swap and such. Because, as you can imagine, the only way they were going to get Ginyu out of Goku's body was that they were going to have to get him to such a damaged state that he'd want to try and body swap again. If anyone likes filler in Dragon Ball Z as much as me, you'll know that that is where Captain Ginyu the Frog was born. Body swapping, Goku was able to get his body back by basically stopping the energy blast that Ginyu uses to body switch from hitting someone else's body, by first waiting for him to return to his own body, and then throwing a frog in the way of it. Which meant that a frog went into Captain Ginyu's body, and Captain Ginyu went into a frog's body. It's the weirdest thing in Dragon Ball Z filler, but it's one of those weird things that unfortunately, as dumb as it is, I love it so much, and it's why I will honestly feel, yeah, we're very close to Frieza's ship. It's one of the reasons why, as much as people praise it for being accurate to the original Japanese, I will never get over how much filler was removed and how much personality it feels like Kai lost. Because, like, that's the thing. There's a reason why Dragon Ball Z Abridged do the Kai episodes as synopses in literally like 5 minutes of an entire season of their Abridged series. Because literally they go down to, here are the brass tacks of the crucially important things that you have to know, but not necessarily the things that build character, build your interest in the plot, build all those things. It's just the absolute bare bones of things. And to me, as a 90s kid, I feel like I have a very biased opinion of how you should watch that anime. That biased opinion being, you should watch the Ocean dub up to the fight with Raccoon, and then you should watch the Funimation dub all the way through from there. That is the way that I watch Dragon Ball Z. And like the lovely thing is when when I actually got my own copy, like the Dragon Box, that has all three, that has the what is it, the redub Funimation, the original dub, and the Ocean dub, I think, all together in the same box. That to me is basically the God box of Dragon Ball Z, the original. So I find that is the ideal way of looking at it. Now, we're right outside Frieza's ship. So, the Freezer soldiers here take about 2 to 3 hits each. These are the strongest enemies in the game. I would strongly advise, bring herbs. But on top of that, I would strongly advise, do not underestimate them, and do not hope that you will have enough space to charge up energy attacks, because remember, they can too. And if you come into a crowded area like I was before, they don't give you much room to work with, which means they can easily crowd you and hit you with an energy blast, and it's suddenly not fun. You can only really deal with these guys with with a single punch guaranteed on every single one of them once you hit max level. As it is, I'm not too far off that, but there is a part of me that kind of doesn't want to hit it until the fight with Frieza. So I'm not sure. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But when I used to play on my own, well before I got Legacy of Goku 2, just for the sake of seeing how high the experience counter could go, I remember one time just booting up the game and literally grinding on this same screen for about an hour just to see how high my experience would go, and it got pretty high. Didn't really accomplish anything, literally just got more experience that went towards the fact that I was already max level, but still, I had fun with it at least. Now I feel like there's one more on the map, and I think he's over in the corner. Sworn there was another soldier up here. Funny. Okay, so that literally means we've cleared out that entire area. Okay, well, exhausted from his trip across planet Namek, Goku finally reaches Frieza's ship. But what horrors await inside? Find out in the next exciting episode of Dragon Ball Z!